Welcome, students. We are very excited to have you at the Personal Development and Growth live webinar today. So before we start, I would just like to introduce us as the speakers. So myself speaking, John Reputkieter. I work at the Potchefstroom campus as an industrial psychologist. I have Bianca Brett, a registered counselor at the Van der Bijl Park campus. And then I have Onegile Makedama at Mahikeng campus, which is also a registered counselor. So we will be going through the personal development workshop with you. We encourage you, this is very important. Personal development and growth is very important. So get your notebook out, quickly run to your notebooks, make some notes for yourself. We are going to get practical today. So utilize this session that you have today to make the best of the session. What we'll be looking at today is important. So speak a bit about the importance thereof, the stages of personal development. So we're going to answer the question, how do I develop? So what and where do I start? Provide a take-home message, further reading material, where you can find us, Q&A, and then also looking at some resources. So yes, take a moment to look at this video for me.
Dear 6-year-old, training wheels are for babies. Just let go already. Regards, a 7-year-old.
Dear 7-year-old, no matter what anyone says, stay weird. Signed, an 8-year-old.
Dear 8-year-old, find out your babysitter's weakness, then use it against them. Signed, a 9-year-old.
Dear 9-year-olds, don't get involved with the popular kids. They're narcissistic capitalists that know nothing about politics. Signed, a 12-year-old.
Dear 12-year-old, ask her to dance. Just trust me on this one. Signed, a 16-year-old.
Dear 16-year-old, don't let your mom throw away your Legos. Signed, an 18-year-old.
Dear 18-year-old, go easy on the makeup. You're not as ugly as you think. Love, a 19-year-old.
Dear 19-year-old, just because it's an all-you-can-eat buffet does not mean you need to eat all you can.
Your parents have better interest rates than your credit card. If he says he has a weekend home in the suburbs, he's married.
That rust protection undercoating, it's actually a great deal.
Whatever you do, never order the salad from a truck stop.
Back up your hard drive. Now.
I mean, who even does that?
Getting laid off can be a blessing in disguise.
Being a starving artist only works if you actually make art.
Always be kind to your family. You'll need each other when things get tough.
Stop panicking. Being a single mom is an incredible thing. I was 22. I had this little kid. I named him Vladimir. He's 14 now. He makes me proud. So,
Dear 36-year-old, stop caring so much about what other people think. They're not thinking about you at all. Signed, a 47-year-old.
Dear 47-year-old, a midlife crisis does not look good on you. Signed, a 48-year-old.
Dear 48-year-old, always tell the truth, except when it comes to your online dating profile.
Dear 51-year-old, one cat is enough cats. Signed, a 53-year-old.
Dear 53-year-old, it's never too late to try something new.
I've decided to take my husband's Corvette and go to racing school. If Paul Newman could do it, why can't I?
Dear 72-year-old, spend all your money. Otherwise, your kids are going to do it for you. Sincerely, an 85-year-old.
Dear 85-year-old, indulge your sweet tooth. You'll need dentures soon anyway. My late wife made the best apple pie that you could ever find. When she cut the pieces, she would cut small ones, and when she came to me, she would cut a big one.
Dear 88-year-old, cultivate younger friends. Otherwise, yours will all die off. Sincerely, 91 years old.
Dear 91-year-old, don't listen to other people's advice. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Signed, a 93-year-old. Just do your own thing. That's the way I say it.
Okay, so this was such a good introduction into personal development, to say that do your thing, do what you need to do to go through life and to have a good, fulfilling life. And you as a student, it starts today. It doesn't start tomorrow. It doesn't start when you have the energy. It starts today. So let's talk about what is personal development. So personal development is the process of improving your skills and increasing the amount of experience you have. It also goes about the expanding your self-awareness and your knowledge and improving your personal skills. So the basis of personal development is you want to improve. So as it says, dear 91-year-old, don't listen to anybody else, focus on you, and focus on activities and things and people and experiences that enhance your skills, that increases your consciousness, and that you focus on skills that build wealth and build health, which is some of the most important aspects to focus on. So why is personal development so important? Maslow in 1970 indicated that we as individuals, we are naturally inclined to grow, to be better, to flourish, to basically an organism needs an environment where it can grow and flourish and expand. So we have an innate or inbuilt focus towards personal development and growth. And this process is called self-actualization. So self-actualization is about an individuation process. You are becoming a self, a person that is holistic. You realize that your environment and yourself is two pieces of a different puzzle, but it makes up a whole. And that is what drives us in human behavior. He also said, Maslow also indicated that all individuals have the need to see themselves as competent and autonomous. So we have also this innate need that we want to be seen as competent, we want to be known we are competent, and we also want the liberty and freedom to do what we need to do to achieve that we want to achieve, as all have our aspirations. And that we do not want to be limited. We want a limitless room, a limitless process to grow and grow and grow. And this is very important. Personal development helps you to get to that place of the 90-year-old and have a full life, which is what we all want. Looking back, saying, I have no regrets, I have lived and I have loved and I have gained out of this life. The concept of self-actualization connects very well with the concept of well-being. So those who are considered self-actualized or also generally have high emotional and psychological well-being. So first of all, importance, we as students neglect emotional and psychological well-being. It's one of the aspects they least focus on, and which is actually the most important. So if we look at further, why is personal development important? It helps you to get you out of your comfort zone. Join us today at 2 o'clock for the Stepping Out of Your Comfort Zone webinar. It enables one to identify and reflect on your strengths and your weaknesses. As I said in the beginning, you want to increase your self-awareness. How do you do that? You start with your strengths and your weaknesses. What am I good at? What am I not good at? It improves your self-awareness, as I've just indicated. It challenges your current psychological and emotional state and encourages you to change. So as you all know, we are consistently, well, myself as a person, I question my purpose. I question, am I following my dreams? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? So personal development encourages that process of, I am not where I want to be. I need to move forward. It promotes teaching and learning of new skills. So as they said, education is very important, and education does not only equal to studies. Education is reading about topics that are different and new. It promotes a sense of direction. So without personal development, it's as if we are one of those donkeys that just keeps on walking in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. Personal development gets you out of that walking out in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. Direction moving forward. It produces greater resilience, and your own personal development journey inspires others into action. How many times have you seen that when your friend starts to gym, you all of a sudden start to gym? You're not going to obviously do it out of yourself, but as I see my friend going to the gym, eating healthy, looking after their health and well-being, it inspires me to do that. So there's a thing I read once where they say, don't be the one to smile. Don't be the one smiling. Be the one to smile first. So be the one who walks a personal development journey. Do not be the one who follows, but be the one who leads. So I'm going to give over to Bianca, who's going to talk about the stages of personal development for us. Thank you, Bianca.
Thanks, Johnny. So on our way in becoming who we are, we go through a lot of challenges, and we have many obstacles to overcome. Each obstacle is actually a step forward in our personal growth. So today I will be discussing the stages we must go through in order to fully develop. These stages include self-awareness, environmental feedback, preparation and planning, action and implementation, and reflection and adaptation. So the first step in the personal development is being self-aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. Ask yourself, what are these things that you know about yourself versus the things that other people know about you? This is a stage when you analyze yourself, thinking about what you can do best and where you need some improvement. And write those things down. Self-knowledge helps you to understand yourself better, learn more about your needs, and make these decisions whether you want to achieve more or not. So in completing the values in action, or the VIA assessment, to assist you in determining your strengths and areas of development could really be helpful. I will also post this link in the chat box later on. The second stage is to ask feedback from those who are close to you and know you very well. Ask the question, what do others know about you that you do not? By asking them how they view you and what they believe your strengths and weaknesses are, will give you constructive input in your personal development process. It is crucial to only ask those people who truly have a valuable opinion of you. Take a day and ask your accountability partners how they view you. Make a note of it, as you will use this in your personal development process. You can consider asking them some of the following questions. What are my strengths and areas of development? What are these habits, behaviors that you have observed that are potentially limiting my growth? What is something you admire about me? These questions will really help you to shed some light on how you can improve. Then, the next phase is preparing yourself psychologically and emotionally for personal development, to outline a solid plan for what you want to achieve and how you are going to achieve it. Remember, the feeling of I want to change is going to go away at some stage. Then you are left with the choice of self-discipline. In other words, I do not feel like challenging and changing myself, but this is important if I want to truly achieve my goals. You should decide what you will do You should decide what will be your short and long-term goals. Moreover, you should also write them down and visualize them. More on this in the personal development plan section a bit later on. Action and implementation. This stage is very simple. After you have decided what you want to change and work on based on the information obtained from your own self-awareness process and the environmental feedback, you actually complete the personal development plan, which will also be discussed a bit later. And then you force, if you have to, yourself into action and implementation of strategies to achieve your goals. Get your accountability partners on par with this process. Keep in mind, a person with a purpose does not need a lot of external motivation in pursuing their goals and dreams, as they already know what they want to do. All they need is support and encouragement in the process. Either get support and encouragement, or be the support and encouragement. And finally, the last stage is one of the most important stages in the personal development process: reflection and adaptation. One can have this amazing plan and purpose and have the most supportive accountability partners on the planet. But if you lack the drive to actually develop, you will get nowhere. Reflect on where you are in the current psychological and motivational stage. If you feel you are stagnating, utter this to a coach or a mentor and ask for help. Adapt your attitude towards the process. Take a day, be mellow, and the next day get up and change your mindset into action. So knowing these steps off by heart can help you navigate your way through the personal development process. The more you know, the more you can do. So now that you know what stages you will follow, you are probably asking yourself, now, where do I start? Well, for that one, I'll be giving over to Onehile, who will be taking you through the practical process of the personal development and growth process. Thank you, One.
Answering the question, how do I develop and where do I start? Personal development is a continuous process throughout a person's life. One has to work on it each and every day of their lives. There's not a time where you start and then you stop and then you start again, because life is a continuous process and you get a new chance with each and every day that you get to live. So it is important for one to take personal development seriously, because you are the most important person in your own life. If you don't take personal development, your own personal development seriously, then no one else can do it for you. Today, I'll be just covering 3 tools that you can use to implement your own personal development plan, and also to keep monitoring your progress, and to also track and see what areas do you need to adjust, what areas do you need to amend, and also maybe to see what aspects in your goal, in your plan, do you think need to change. Because as a person, in as much as you may have a plan on how to grow, you may have a personal development plan, you may find yourself in a situation where life circumstances change. Therefore, you also might need to go back to your plan and readjust. So the 3 tools that we'll be covering are life inventory, setting goals, and having an accountability partner. The first one is preparing a life inventory of important happenings for you. You can start by recording any significant experiences that you have had in the past year. It can be good experiences, it can be bad experiences, as long as that experience made a lasting impact in your life. You can list things that you do well. You can list things which you do poorly. You can also list things which you would like to stop doing. You can also list things that you would like to learn to do well. And you can also list experiences or significant experiences that you would like to have, such as maybe items that are in your bucket list, if you do have a bucket list. You can also list values such as factors that have to do with money, that have to do with, authority, that have to do with power, and even maybe family, because sometimes you find that part of your plan may actually not have anything to do with you personally, but also something to do with the people around you, like your family, such as developing better relationships within your family. And the last thing that you can list is things that you would like to start doing now that may not require a lot of planning and a lot of effort for you to get started with. The second one is setting up your goals. It's important to keep these aspects that I'll be highlighting in your mind when you're formulating a goal. You start by visualizing your goal. Remember to think positively. Say your goal out loudly and then write it down. When you formulate your goal, please make sure that you're specific and that you are realistic. For example, if you want to have a car in the next 2 years, try to specify which model and how much it costs so that you know what effort may be needed in order for you to be able to achieve that goal. And your goal, it should be challenging. Don't be afraid to have goals that seem out of your reach, because it is those difficulties that will keep you trying time and time again until such a time that you reach your goal. And also, please set target dates and deadlines. A goal without a deadline or a date is a dream. Also, lastly, determine how you are going to monitor your progress. This then means, are you going to have a partner who's going to check up on you? Are you going to maybe record your goals somewhere? And once in a while, maybe for example, on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, review your goals? Or are you going to maybe speak to your counselor and maybe have your counselor assist you with monitoring your goals, or even a family member or a friend? This is an example of a table that you can use to draft your goals. You can divide your goals into short-term goals and long-term goals. And if you would also like to, you can also add middle-term goals. So short-term goals can be anything that can take, that you'd like to achieve between now and into the next 6 months or the next year. And then middle-term goals can be whatever you'd like to achieve within the next 2 years or 2 to 3 years. Long-term goals can be what you'd like to achieve within the next 5 to 10 years. So when you using this table, you write down your goal and you also write down what steps do you need to take to achieve that goal. You also write down what obstacles, what challenges are you anticipating, so that you can prepare for some of those challenges if and where possible. And by when do I want to achieve the goals? That's your deadline and the time that which you would like to have achieved the goals. And rewards for achieving. The reward, sometimes the goal can be a reward in itself, but sometimes you may find that you would like to have small incentives as you complete each step of your goal. So it's up to you to decide whether you're going to reward yourself at the very end or in between as you progress throughout your plan. And lastly, the accountability and progress. If you feel you would like someone else to assist you and keep you accountable and keep you in check, you can ask a friend, or two, or a family member to just be your accountability partner. And when you have asked a person to be accountable partner, please explain to them what exactly it is that you expect of them. What is their role and what will be not their role, so that you don't find yourself fighting with your accountability partner when you sometimes do not achieve your goals or when you sometimes change your plans. And lastly, also write down how are you going to show appreciation to your accountability partner. I understand that it may be a friend, it may be a family member, but once in a while, it would be nice to just give them something or say something or do something for them, just to show them that you are grateful and you appreciate their support and assistance in keeping you in check with your goal plan, with your personal development plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In terms of the take-home message, so we have gone through what is personal development, we have gone through why it is important, moving over to the stages or steps, and then getting some practical advice on what do we actually physically need to do. Get a journal, write your goals down, short-term, medium-term, long-term, etc. So as going to the take-home message, we as individuals, we are not born to be alone. And that I believe we can also connect it to emotional and physical well-being, psychological well-being. We are not alone in this journey that we have to walk in life. So get yourself a mentor, a coach, or a psychologist to help you with this process. It is sometimes very difficult for us as a person to look from the outside in. Whereas if we have somebody sharing this journey with us, it helps us to bring some perspective in terms of our own journey. You have to take this journey serious, or you should leave it for a time when you feel it is needed. So personal development is it can be one of the most beautiful, rewarding experiences, but it can also be a very strenuous, demanding process, and that should not be the purpose of personal development. It should be a safe space, a flourishing space for you to go at. So if it's not that place for you, revisit the drawing board to say, what am I doing wrong here? Why am I feeling the way I feel? One of the most important things is to ensure to get a role model. Sometimes we always think, or we ask ourselves, but where do I start? How am I going to achieve what I want to achieve? Go and look at who is someone who inspires you and who you look up to. Observe them, mimic their behavior, see what they do. What about that person inspires you? Is it the way they talk to people? Is it the way that they walk? So write down those attributes, behavior traits that you see that inspires you to be better, and practice, put it actually into practice. Personal development is not just a piece of paper. It's something you do every single day. Like, for example, a gratitude journal. You can listen to podcasts and seminars. So it's also not you complete a PDP and you put it aside. So maybe you are one of those individuals who take a day, I write down all my goals, but then I pack it away underneath and it gets dust, it collects dust. So maybe revisit that as well, to say, put something up on your wall, put reminders up, make this journey active and practical. Read books, listen to podcasts, go to webinars, conferences, watch YouTube videos. Do what you need to do to get the personal development you want, or to get to that place where you want. A good friend or accountability partner is very crucial. So it says research indicates that a PDP, a personal development plan, alone does not suffice. Support and encouragement from others really draws us to change and develop. So this should be a journey that should inspire you to say, okay, I need to go and ask my friends or family, walk this journey with me. There's some change I need to make. I love Dr. Seuss. I think he's I love Dr. Seuss. And some 10 life lessons is, today you are you, that is truer than you. There is no one alive who is youer than you. A person's a person no matter how small. So you matter, your personal development journey matters. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. And remember also, if you're not a reader, get other ways to get knowledge. Listen to webinars, podcasts, speak to people. you don't have to only read books. Think left and think right, and think low and think high. The things you can think up if you only think. Step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Fun is good. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you want. You are the guy who decide where to go. You decide what you're going to reach in your life and what not. You ought to be thankful a whole heaping lot. For the people and places, you're lucky you're not. Unless someone like you cares a lot, awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So there are some videos you can watch. Jim wrote 10 life skills everyone should learn, 7 habits of highly effective people, the skill of self-confidence from Dr. Ivan Joseph, growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and you 2.0, what it really takes. Some books you can read, The Alchemist. You can download it from Google. 7 habits of highly effective people, how to win friends and influence people. Awaken the giant within, Flow. And you can also visit Bookspoon for some information. So where can you also find support and guidance on your personal development journey? You can reach us on any of the campuses. You can visit our Facebook and Instagram and make an appointment via Ifundi for us to actually start. So the main thing, the take-home message is you've got to, they always say you cannot be expecting different results if you do the same thing every single day. If you wake up the same time, if you drink your coffee the same way, if you eat the same burger, you cannot expect change to happen. You've got to build new neural paths in your mind, walk a different way when you walk to your room, or do something different each day for you to grow as a person. As I said, on Ifundi, you can make an Ifundi with student counseling and development.